So transparency for me means having relevant information, and information kind of enables informed decision making within the firm, but also outside of the firm. And for example, if I'm an employee looking for a future job, I might be interested in what's the work culture at the company, diversity aspects, or for example, even compensation structures. So how much is the CEO earning compared to me as an employee? And I could find that information either on a company's website or even looking through their financial reporting. And that might actually influence my decisions where to work. So transparency is important because it can influence decision making, influence behavior, and hence really has economic consequences and effects on resource allocation. Yeah, so that brings with it many open questions. What information do stakeholders need in the first place? When is information relevant? For example, when it's comparable, both across firms, but also over time. And that has implications for how we should measure things, how we should report them, how they should be disclosed by firms. And in particular, I'm interested in the direction of how transparency can influence sustainable corporate behavior. And I'm particularly excited about this aspect of corporate transparency and accounting to be an accountability tool. So in the sense that by disclosing, by outsiders having information, firms can be held accountable for their actions and in turn also be influenced to change their behavior in certain ways. So overall in my research, I'm interested in various factors that shape corporate transparency, and in particular about how we can regulate corporate transparency to achieve sustainability goals or influence a corporate sustainable behavior. But there are many aspects when it comes to really evaluating a regulation. So in one of my papers, I look at actually potential unintended consequences by firms being mandated to disclose greenhouse gas emissions. And I do find that firms rather divest and also shift certain assets into less regulated countries in order to report lower emissions. So it kind of shows a dark side of having more transparency, at least is informative to some extent how we should regulate certain things. Furthermore, I'm interested in the dissemination of disclosure in the first place to kind of facilitate this accountability mechanism. So I look at various actors, in particular in my setting, ESG rating agencies, as one actor shaping the dissemination of transparency and disclosure practices globally to also facilitate an accountability instrument.